everyone. My name is John, and I've suffered from vertigo my whole life, and I want to tell you about it and share our stories together. So let's do it. Here's the thing. So you may have experienced vertigo, or maybe you haven't, but we can all learn something. I know that this video is about challenges, but at the same time, I do want to keep it positive because I do believe that there is light at the end of the tunnel. What is it like living with vertigo? And I want to start out just by defining what vertigo is. And so my definition is a real physical sensation of movement where there is no actual movement. And the key here is that you know it's not real, but your brain and body cannot tell the difference. So sometimes this can feel like spinning, it can feel like a tilting, or maybe pulling to one side, possibly even bouncing. And there are several different types of vertigo, but I want to kind of talk about all of them together. You know, another characteristic of vertigo is that it is extremely terrifying, especially if it's something that you've never experienced before. So there are several challenges and difficulties that you experience when you have vertigo. The first one is that it's very, very difficult to concentrate. So imagine trying to focus while the room is spinning and moving, and what that would feel like. Or imagine that you're trying to listen to someone and they're talking to you, but yet you're feeling this way. And so it can be very, very difficult to pay attention, even though you're really, really trying. And to try to absorb the information that is coming at you can be very, very difficult. Challenge number 2 is that you may have difficulty sleeping. While you're sleeping, you may experience the sensation of spinning or movement, and that may jar you out of sleep. That sometimes happens to me. Sometimes I'll feel like the room is tilting or falling. And as a consequence of that, sometimes you will find that you're not getting the restorative type of sleep that you need. And so on nights when that happens, I've noticed that the vertigo is actually worse the next day. And this creates a sort of feedback loop. And then I also have the inability to kind of focus the way that I need to that day. So in my experience, sleep may actually be more important for people like us than people that don't experience vertigo. And I've learned to not try to be a hero all the time. Like, for example, like doing all-nighters. That's something that does trigger it for me. And, you know, I think that we have to understand the difference between being lazy and just needing rest, because that's just the way it is for us. The third challenge is that there are times where every aspect in life will become orders of magnitude more difficult. Even trivial tasks, even walking, will require a lot of extra energy from you so that you can balance. And you're constantly balancing yourself when you're experiencing vertigo, even when you're sitting, even if it's mild vertigo. And that takes energy. I mean, and it can feel exhausting. And if it's really, really bad, and I've had times where I've been pinned down on my bed, unable to move for long periods of time, for days at a time. And when that happens, you know, you have to think about, well, okay, what do you do when you have to go to the bathroom? You know, things like that. So, you know, these are things that you kind of take for granted until, you know, there's an attack of vertigo. And so even trivial things can become much more difficult. Challenge number 4 is that it can be frustrating that nobody seems to see or understand. Why is this? Because this thing that is happening is internal only to you. It's in your world, right? So people have the same expectations of you as someone who is not experiencing vertigos. It's not like something that's fatal, like many types of like cancer, for example. And it's not outwardly visible because there's no broken bones or bleeding or anything like that. You don't have any fever or flu symptoms. And so people may assume that you're sort of checked out and you don't want to be there, but that's actually not true. You really do want to be there. It's just that you're not yourself. And because there are no obvious symptoms other than what you are experiencing in your world, you may even feel the pressure to perform just as if you were perfectly healthy and feeling fine. And you put in an 8-hour day, it may feel like a 16-hour day to you. Challenge number 5 is that you may reach a point where you physically cannot meet the expectations of life. And sometimes you do have to tap out. Sometimes you'll be stressed out about this because you might have to call in sick and you can't perform your job. And remember, like, the expectations that you have for you and others that might have those expectations for you are still high, but your functionality is low. And one thing I do want to mention is that it doesn't matter like how tough you are or how strong you think you are when you experience intense vertigo, and some of you will know what I'm talking about. It will reduce you to nothing. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. You're basically screwed until it's over. Like, you can't do anything to stop it, and it will kind of make you non-functional. And at that point, sometimes you will even feel like you're willing to do anything to make this thing stop. Challenge number 6 is that even though there are a lot of people that struggle with the same thing that you do, you may feel alone. And in my experience, it is a challenge to find others who are in the same situation. So right now, I am looking at web-based communities to try to see what is out there. But yeah, it's going to be tough. It's a lonely road. Challenge number 7. Depression is the enemy. And you have to remember that. The question is not if you will battle depression, but you will. It's kind of like a companion to vertigo. And so it's not if, but how bad. So I encourage you to reach out for help. Tell somebody if you are in a dark place. This is a serious thing. It's not easy to live with this. So that's it for the challenges. If you have come across more in your life, feel free to put those in the comments below. One thing I do want to say is that if you are experiencing vertigo, you are not alone, and there are a lot of people out there who have experienced it as well. In fact, I was talking to my physical therapist, and she was saying that they get at least one person per day that comes in seeking relief from vertigo. So it actually is quite common. And in my experience, physical therapy has helped to give me some improvement. So that's good. So I would definitely recommend that for you. But I want to hear from you. So tell me what your experience has been. How are you doing? Interested about hearing where you may have found support in your life for this, and tell the rest of us, because some of us are looking for that too. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. Again, thank you for watching this video. Thank you for visiting my channel. My name is John. For those of you who are on this journey with me, I do hope that you find healing. And in the meantime, let's be steady and balanced, healthy and blessed, and I will see you on the other side.